Yeah, I got no agenda. I got like no notes. I got no plan. And yeah, that's trying something new, trying something that feels aligned with a sense of truth that lets me relax on a deeper level. And I want more of that. I want more of that in my life. I want more of that lightness. I want more of that, like letting myself off the hook for doing it right or doing it good or like whatever kind of notion I have in my mind that I use, I have used in the past to guide myself with these notions that I soaked up along my path, these lessons about how to live life that I got handed when I got here. And, you know, we had the Aquarius full moon yesterday, and so much, so much has been illuminated this week for me around my true nature. And like how I summarized the Aquarius full moon for Dolly, because she's not super into astrology. So I try to like make it as like, you know, anybody can appreciate what I'm talking about kind of thing. So yeah, I boiled it down like the Aquarius full moon is going to show us a little bit more than what we knew already about what is your true nature. And the Aquarius full moon plus the Lionsgate portal that we just came through and are kind of still in the tail end of today, that it's also showing us like what patterns are we currently participating in and choosing that aren't aligned with our highest self, our inner truth, kind of however you want to think about that. A big piece of the clarity that came this week feels more like it came through the Lionsgate portal. It was like the day before. It was 8/7. It was August 7th, which I think would have been Sunday. It was that morning that I was watching an interview with Elizabeth Gilbert, and she was talking about how she writes a letter from love, capital L, love is how she calls it, to herself every day. And that's how she starts her day, is she writes this love letter from love, universal love, to her. And in a different interview, she talked about it with very similar process, but with using, like, she's writing to God. She's not writing to like any defined God from out in the world, more like her own personal higher power, like what kind of divine support does she personally need, and that was like what her higher power was there for, her God. So that's who she's writing to. And so that really stuck out to me as something that I just felt like I needed to try this. I needed to basically just like practice that for a little while and see what happens. And so every day since then, I've been like starting my morning, or pretty close to the start of my morning, with writing. It's very simple. She says, like, you know, just kind of write, dear God, and or my God, and what will you have me know today? What is it that's relevant information to where I'm at on my path right now today? And so far, all my God has really told me, which all, you know, it's just universal love and compassion. Like that's really all God has to say, is that you are so loved. You are so loved. You are, this is also come through as far as like I've been like kind of reaching for practicing my sense of enoughness, my sense of self-worth. And like God keeps saying like it's not even that you're enough, because you're everything. you're everything. The concept of enough doesn't even make sense in relation to who and what you really are, which is divine in nature. Like, you're an extension of me. You're an extension of God energy itself, like source energy, non-physical energy itself. We all are. We all are like divine beings. And our humanness is wired for all kinds of experiences that are absolutely right on track and right on time. Things that we wanted to experience, that's why we came at this time. Things that we wanted to experience in the physical that help us to continually get greater and greater and greater clarity, not on what's wrong with the world and how to fix it, but who are you? Who are you? Like, at your core energy, the core essence of your being, who are you? And I think like this ties into self-worth, it ties into self-trust. I've been deep in my waters this week as far as like when I take in an idea like, you're not just enough, you're everything. That it like bumps up against programming, like Aquarius type conditioning programming that says like, it's saying you're enough, you're everything. And this says, no, you're not. You haven't done this, you haven't done this, you need to do this, you need to do this. Like, there's programming in there that it like bumps up against when I try to absorb an idea like, you're not just enough, you're everything. And that's really, really the point of the Lionsgate portal. I was visiting with someone, it was such a good conversation where they were talking about like their understanding of the Lionsgate portal after kind of listening to some talk about it, was that it's a powerful time for like setting new intentions and like launching out into the world, like clarity around what you want kind of thing. And I'm so grateful also for Matt Kahn and his work. He launched his Angel Academy 14. This past Monday was the first night. The second one is this coming Monday. Enrollment is still open if you're at all interested. The first session was over healing shame. And because it was on 8/8, he started by talking about the Lionsgate portal. And I love him so much. I love his perspective as far as like, the way that a lot of people can talk about like things like the Lionsgate portal or full moons that are great for manifestation as well. Like, there's almost like, then if you're not using it to like set powerful intentions, you feel like you're like doing it wrong, or that you're like wasting this opportunity, or like it's just one more thing that you like fail at kind of thing. And I love the way he described it, because there's no way to fail. There's no way to fail at this version. And that's awesome. So that feels like relief. It feels like kind of like a letting yourself relax into whatever comes through that portal. Because ultimately, what is coming through the portal is our own, like getting to glimpse our own higher understanding of the path that we're on. And that includes a lot of things. That includes like getting to see the beauty and the like literal sparkle of the beautiful soul that you are, the beautiful individuality and uniqueness that you are. And it's because it's such a clarity at that like higher frequency where you can see everything. It's that bird's eye view of like the bigger picture. You can also see like what are the unconscious patterns that are still looping inside of you that are keeping you at a denser frequency than this higher self perspective. So yes, it can absolutely be a powerful moment of getting to connect with like who you really are. but also probably for all of us, I know for me, certainly, and it sounded like my friend that I was talking to the other day, like also, that there can be a lot of like shadow type stuff that comes through, and that it really, oh, it feels so good to get to have this conversation where basically I want to say like the bottom line is like when you're in negative emotion, like nothing has truly gone wrong. Like there's nothing breaking down or off track when you feel negative emotion. Like so often, and I know I've fallen into this too, and even on my channel, like talked like this. So I evolve and I do my best from wherever I am. Um, but it's like there is such a phobia of like speaking about pain and hurt and like coming off like a victim, or not wanting to talk about things that you don't want to amplify and create more of. And all that really does is like set up a pattern of avoidance. And when we when we try to run away from something, like it just like it's just not possible. So the only way to heal shame, as Matt Kahn went on to talk about in his session the other night, was like shame is an ascended master dressed up as pain and suffering. And shame serves to be an immovable object whose function is to break down the spiritual ego